Gilda, I went by your house today and it smelled like curry. It smelled delicious. Could I have some to give to my family? But our house is on the 7th floor of an apartment. Did you come all the way to the front door or something? Come now, there's no need to worry about the details. You see, everyone in my family loves curry, so we'd like to take it from you. Come on, Gilda, you know how we're struggling financially and have 3 kids to feed, right? Couldn't you be kind enough to just give us some food? Huh? Wow, so this is one of your sudden requests again. Everyone in my family likes curry as well, and I only made enough for the 4 of us, so I won't be giving any to you. I sympathize with your struggles, but I simply don't feel the need to give you our food. If you and your family are truly struggling, as you say, then why don't you apply for financial aid? But why would I apply for financial aid if you could just give it to me yourself? I mean, you say you don't feel the need, but in reality, you're just too selfish to help us out, aren't you? Besides, isn't it only natural for you to make curry for everyone in my family as well? What? Well, I guess you could call me selfish for not helping you out, but to be honest, we aren't really that close, Sophia. And I'm no saint that goes around helping the needy either. And no, it isn't natural for me to make curry for your family as well, since we barely even know each other. Do you text the other mothers like this all the time, too? Aw, don't say that, Gilda. We're friends, aren't we? And no, I don't ask the other mothers for favors like this because I know you're the only one who's kind enough to actually help me. I mean, I'm always nice enough to ask for your curry, Gilda. Why do you always just turn me down? Seriously, don't you feel even a little bit guilty wasting my kindness like this? Yeah, but I've never even thought to myself that I'd like it if you received my curry. We're not friends, Sophia. Don't call me that. I mean, you're not really being kind to us anyway, since what you're doing is actually just bothering us by asking for our stuff. This is food I made for my family, so I won't give it to you. What? What are you trying to say, Gilda? I'm trying to say that I'm not going to give you a single spoonful of curry. If I had known it would come to this, I would have never entertained you by giving you some of our food last week. What did you just say to me? To think that I was nice enough to visit you guys at your apartment. I'm only trying to be a good neighbor, you know. All right, I'll consider this as just one of your pranks again. A prank? This isn't a prank, Gilda. I'm being 100% serious. If you're not a selfish bitch that only thinks about herself, then give me some of that curry you made. Yeah, call me whatever you want. What makes you think I'd care? Anyways, I still have some housework I need to take care of, so bye. Hey, hold on! But if you don't give us some of your curry, then my family will have nothing to eat for dinner. Seriously, Gilda, if we starve, it's going to be your fault. Just give us your curry so you won't have to feel guilty anymore. Hey, Gilda, what's with the car? Huh? What do you mean the car? The car that was parked in the parking lot? Oh my god, I am so jealous of you. If you're talking about my car, then I've been using it for about half a year now. What do you mean you're jealous? It's just a regular car made in the country. My, to think that you would call a car like that regular? That must mean that you were secretly rich, right? I mean, a car like this probably cost at least 100 million euros, right? Jesus, Gilda. What does your husband even do for a living? And why do you guys live in such a regular apartment if you've got so much money? What? I have no idea what you're talking about, Sophia. I mean, you live in a regular 3DK apartment, so I was just almost fooled into thinking that you guys were just an average household. I get it. You're the kind of person who doesn't care much about food or housing and just uses all their money on cars, right? Not really, but I'm pretty sure that our household income is pretty average, actually. In fact, due to the recent inflation, we've been forced to be tight with money recently. We definitely don't have enough money to buy a car worth 1 million euros, if that's what you wanted to ask. It's no use trying to hide that you're rich, because I already know. And now that I've seen that amazing car, it's your duty as a celebrity mother to support me and my family who are suffering, because we have 3 children, even though my husband doesn't earn that much money. You don't have any excuse not to give me stuff anymore, Gilda. If you don't, you'll truly just be a selfish bitch, and I'll tell all the other mothers about it. I already told you, my family is neither rich nor famous. So I'm afraid we won't be able to help you. And I don't care if you call me selfish or whatever, but it's just the way of the world. People prioritize themselves and their family above everything else, and we're no different. Besides, I don't want to be called selfish by someone who always asks for stuff but never gives anything in return. What are you talking about? What do you mean you're neither rich nor famous? I mean, your husband earns enough money for you to be able to be a housewife, right? That alone is enough to show that someone is rich in this day and age. I'm not a housewife. I just work from home. Oh, so that means that not only does your husband earn a lot of money, but you earn money yourself as well. That must mean that you have a ton of money then. You must do some high-class job yourself, right? I know you must be an investor or something. Wow, I never knew you were so talented, Gilda. No, I'm not an investor. I'm just a regular employee who works for the planning department at B Corporations. My husband is also just a regular office worker who earns a regular salary. Will you please stop making all these assumptions? None of them are true. I already told you, Gilda. I know you're lying because there's no way someone with a regular salary would be able to afford a car like that. Give me that car of yours. Huh? So this is what you wanted from the start, huh? If you're that rich, then you can just buy another one, right? So give it to me. My family clearly needs it more than you. Do you know how much a luxury car would help a struggling family with 3 children? A lot. I mean, we definitely wouldn't be struggling anymore. I'm afraid I won't be able to do that. That's the only car our family owns. And for the last time, we don't earn enough money to be able to just buy another car. Fine, then just let me drive it first. I'll decide then whether I'll take it from you or not. I won't give it to you, and I won't let you drive it either. Who knows what you might do? You might try to run away with it or get into an accident or something. Aw, please. It's fine if you just let me drive it a bit, right? Come on, Gilda, what harm would it do? No, it's not lending the car itself that's the problem here, but the fact that I'm going to be lending it to you, who, if we're being honest, I have zero trust with. Jesus, Gilda, you're going to hurt my feelings with words like that. I thought we were friends. If we really are friends, then just let me drive your car for a bit. I want to drive it, I want to drive it, I want to drive it. You're so stubborn. For the last time, I am not going to let you drive it. Bye. Huh? You're so stingy, Gilda. Fine. I'll just do something about it myself. I still really want to drive that car. So I thought to myself, so I went to the parking lot and, oh my God, the keys to the car were left on the hood. This means I can drive it, right? Yes, I knew you were my friend, Gilda. You always deny it, but I know you're just the kind of person that isn't very open about their own feelings. You're so cute letting me know I can drive the car in this fashion. I mean, seriously. You tell me that you won't let me drive it, but one day you change your mind and leave the keys on the hood, and you don't tell me anything because you're too shy to do so. Anyways, thanks for changing your mind about me driving the car, Gilda. I'll take it out for a ride right now. Sophia? You're going to take our car out for a drive? What are you talking about? But I'm currently driving the car on my way to the supermarket. Stop with these jokes, please. They aren't funny. I'm going to tell you one more time. I'm not going to let you drive our car, and I'm definitely not going to give or lend it to you either. Seriously, where do you come up with all this nonsense? Oh, my, looks like I got a text from Gilda while I was driving. Huh? What do you mean you're driving your car and are on your way to the supermarket? But I'm driving your car right now, so there's no point in trying to lie. Oh, I get it. You're still too embarrassed that you changed your mind and are actually going to let me drive your car, which is why you're still denying it like this, right? It's all right, Gilda. I forgive you for being mean towards me at the start. We're best friends forever, after all. To tell you the truth, I thought that driving this car was difficult at first, but once you get used to it, it's actually all right. I got the opportunity to take your car out for at least a test drive, so I decided to go somewhere far away, and now I'm on the highway. It feels so good speeding down the highway in your luxury car, Gilda. Sophia, what? You're on the highway? Don't tell me, but are you actually driving right now? Yep. Well, not exactly right now, because that would be dangerous, right? I'm currently at a road stop taking a break, though. It feels so good going vroom vroom and going full speed in this car. But I'm trying to tell you that I used our car to go to the supermarket. I already parked it in our parking lot, but I can see it from our balcony. I'm pretty sure it's still there. I'm afraid that yet again, I don't know what you're talking about, Sophia. Yeah. It's getting kind of old, Gilda. Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you. The car was scratched a bit, but don't you dare complain about something as little as this, all right? Today's a test drive, after all. Make sure you have it repaired before I come and take it from you, all right? Sophia, can you still text right now? Yep, I'm still taking a break at the road sign. I'm planning on heading out soon. What is it? You said that you were driving a luxury car, right? The one with the golden number plate and the silver car frame? Yep. Why are you asking me that? This is your car, isn't it? You're weird, Gilda. I want you to stay calm and listen to me right now. Our family doesn't own any such luxury car. We only own a regular 4-seater. What? Yep, my car is a white car made by Nissan, and it was bought secondhand as well. What? But that was your previous car, wasn't it? I saw you leaving the parking lot driving a car like that before. It's the second closest one to the entrance, right? Yeah, I do park it at the second closest lot to the entrance. There, you see? But there's a similar parking lot 1 block down from the one I always use. I went to the balcony earlier to check if my car was still there and saw that there was a crowd gathering at this other parking lot. Could it be? I thought to myself and went to see what was happening. Wait, is it the case that... Yes, it is. You went to the wrong parking lot, Sophia, and mistook the luxury car parked at the lot second closest to the entrance for mine. Then you got in the car without the owner's permission and took it for a ride. I think this is what happened. No way! You've got to be kidding, right? There's no point in me making jokes at a situation like this. Then who is the owner of this luxury car? Yep, I think that's where you screwed up the worst. Who is it? Have you heard of Anton? Is that the crazy guy who's suspected of having ties with the criminal underworld? Correct. What? Then I'm in big trouble, right? Please, Gilda, I'll come back immediately and return the car without anyone noticing, so don't tell anyone that I took the car out for a drive. I told you earlier that there was a crowd at the parking lot, right? It means that Anton himself is there, and there's a commotion because he's screaming about how his car got stolen. No way. Apparently, there were eyewitnesses to you stealing the car and taking it out for a drive, so there's no point trying to hide anymore. Steal? I didn't steal it. There's no point trying to run away either, so you should just come back immediately and return the car, or contact the authorities right away. Gilda! What should I do? I got into an accident! I was panicking the whole time I was driving home, and I'm fine, but the car's been flattened. What should I do? Seriously, what should I do? I'm fucked now, aren't I? Gilda, please give me 1 million euros. I need to pay for the car that I broke. I mean, this is all your fault for not telling me that wasn't your car sooner, so you need to do something about this. Please, at least just read my messages. Apparently, if I don't give him 1 million euros by 3 days, he's going to do something terrible to me. I have no choice but to ask you, the one who's responsible for this mess, to give me the money. If you feel bad about getting me into this mess, then hurry up and give me the 1 million euros. He says I need to give it to him by sunset on Saturday. Gilda, where's the 1 million euros? Oh shit, the sun's about to set. My husband gave me divorce papers and went into hiding with our children, so I can't rely on them anymore. Are you going to tell me that you don't care what happens to me? Are you just going to throw me away, the friend you were kind enough to lend a car to once? Shit, the sun has set. Anton is here with a bunch of muscular men. Please, I need 1 million euros in cash right now. We're currently behind the parking lot his car used to be parked in. Come here quick. If you're not going to give me the cash, then at least come here so you can be taken away instead of me, please. He told me that if I couldn't pay the 1 million euros, then he's going to make me work for him for the rest of my life. He says that probably won't even be worth half of what I owed him. Please, Gilda, I think he plans on selling me to slavery or something. I could already see Sophia telling everyone that it was my fault she broke Anton's car, so I decided to be one step ahead of her and tell Anton how she must have thought his car was my car because our cars are parked in the same spaces, but in different parking lots. But thankfully, he seemed to be a sane man and said it's her fault for trying to take someone else's car in the first place, and told me that this was in no way my fault. By the way, it seems that Anton went to Sophia's husband and told him that he would let him and his kids go on the condition that he divorced Sophia. He didn't need to tell Sophia's husband twice. And he finished the necessary paperwork required for his kids to change schools and for them to move somewhere far away at the speed of light. Sophia's parents had cut ties with her years ago, and so now that her family left her, she was completely alone with no one she could rely on. I don't know if the rumors about Anton having ties to the criminal underworld are true or not, but it's true that Sophia suddenly disappeared the day after she was supposed to give him the money. No one dares question what happened to her after that, and there hasn't been a word from her ever since.
Good morning, Melanie. I just arrived to your hospital room. I don't see you around. I brought a change of clothes. Everything okay? Is there something you want me to take back home with me? Like laundry or something? Oh, hey, Mom. Yeah, actually there is. There's a bunch of laundry in the closet near the door. Get those washed, would you? Alright, no problem. Oh, and Melanie, there's one more thing. Yeah? What is it? You and the baby are scheduled to come home the day after tomorrow, right? Yes, that's right. Why do you ask? Well, I suddenly have this urgent issue back at my parents' place, and I won't be home for a few days. So I asked my son to take the afternoon off the day after tomorrow to pick you up by cab. Hope that's okay. Oh, yeah? Okay, so Rob is gonna pick me up, huh? No problemo. No problemo? Oh, yes, I get it. I really feel awful about it. No worries, I'll be fine. Actually, I'm sorta thankful. Excuse me? Never mind. Hey, Mom. Weren't you supposed to be back from your folks' place about now? Yes, that's right. I should be home in about an hour or so. Oh, yeah? You don't have to come home. Oh, wait, pardon me? After your husband died, your son Rob and I live in the main house. And you live in the attached cottage out back, right? Yes, that's right. What about it? Since I'm alone, I prefer the smaller house. Less to clean, it's actually quite comfortable. Although we live on the same property, we made it a rule that we would not interfere with each other's lives. I see. Then it's decided. Please vacate that cottage, please. Excuse me? But why do you say that? Seems obvious, right? After your husband passed away, the house was handed down to Rob, who's your only son. So I figured, since I am Rob's wife, I have the authority to determine who lives here and who doesn't. Makes perfect sense, right? And what's more, I just gave birth to a healthy young boy who will next take over this property someday. So, simply put, I surpassed you as the authority figure here. I make the decision about this family and this property. You're not making much sense, Melanie. If you can't understand, I can explain it to you again. If you like, I got all the time in the world. Oh, and that little cottage you're living in now? Once you're out, my folks will move in, so I'd appreciate it if you get your stuff out of there ASAP. Thanks. I really wish you would stop making all the decisions like I didn't even exist. Considering that it would be hard bringing up a kid, it would be way easier for me to ask my folks rather than my mother-in-law, who I hardly know. Don't you agree? Don't you agree that a stress-free environment is important for bringing up a child? For both mother and child? So, you feel that my presence is stressful. Is that what you're trying to say? Please, Mom, don't get me wrong. It's not just about you. I just grew up thinking that, that all in-laws are supposed to be a little, cruel and nasty. Does Rob feel the same way as you? I haven't asked him, but I'm sure he feels exactly the same. But I can't be persuaded to change my mind. If I can get $10,000 a month as support payment, my mind can be easily swayed. Pardon me, $10,000? Obviously, you can't pay such a fortune, so I want you out of the cottage by the end of the day. Even if I was to leave, I still have a lot of stuff in the house. I need a few days. I bet you're just saying that, and then you're gonna squat there forever. I have other accommodations, so that won't be necessary. Are you sure about that? I remember when you first moved in, Melanie. Those huge cardboard boxes? How did you even get those boxes to the house? I've always wondered about that. You know perfectly well how hard it is to move. It's not as easy as packing a bag and saying goodbye. Yeah, but I really doubt you have somewhere else to live, but again, that's your problem. Okay then, I'll give you until Sunday to move out. That should be more than enough time. If you're even a day late in moving out, we cut family ties and you'll never see your grandchild ever again. You're out of the house, like it or not. Just keep that in mind. Cut family ties, huh? I may be saying that to you sooner rather than later.
Judith, is this true? Did you really move out of your own place?
Good morning, Rob. Please, no need to worry about me. I'm fine. As you all know, I have other accommodations.
But it seems unfair. This is your home.
Yes, it is. By the sound of it, apparently Melanie hasn't mentioned anything.
Melanie, did she say something to you?
Yes, it was Melanie who told me to get out of the house. She seemed pretty adamant about it too.
Are you joking? She told you to leave your own home. Why?
I'm pretty sure I mentioned this to you before, but I just want to make sure. She knows that we're not related. no blood ties, and that I haven't officially registered you as my child. She knows this, right?
Yeah, I told her that before we even got married. She thought it was weird at first when I kept calling you Judith, but when she asked me about that, I told her that my dad brought me up as a single parent, and that you and Dad got married after I finished school and was already working. I also explained that since I was already an adult, it wasn't really necessary to do all the paperwork for adoption.
That's what I wanted to verify. Thanks.
Do you have any evidence that Melanie demanded that she leave?
Yes, she contacted me online. So the whole conversation should be there word for word.
I'd appreciate it if you could send me the entire conversation. I want to get a grasp of the whole situation.
Okay, I can do that. I'll send it later.
Oh, and one more thing. Now that you moved out, I don't see how we can go on living here any longer. The only problem is that Melanie just got out of the hospital and is still pretty weak and needs rest. As you know, the baby is tiny. We really shouldn't be taking our son outside for now. Would you mind waiting 3 or so months until we're ready to move? I'd really appreciate it.
Of course, Rob. How can I say no?
Thank you so much, Judith, and I'm really sorry about all this. And I appreciate your considerateness.
No need to apologize. I just hope things work out for you two. Or should I say 3?
Hey, pick up, would you? This is my first time hearing about this. What's going on?
Oh, hello, Melanie. It's been a while. How are you?
Let's cut the niceties, shall we? Why the hell do we have to move out? You're the one who was supposed to get the hell out of here. I finally scheduled it so that my folks would move in. As a matter of fact, they just terminated their apartment lease and packed their stuff. What the hell is going on? What have you done?
I'm sure you heard everything from Rob. He told you that the owner of the house is me.
That can't be right. When a father dies, the son takes over as heir. Rob's the only son. The house obviously goes to him. What are you, delusional? And you have to pay all kinds of taxes too. Like property and state taxes. You're just a housewife. You would never be able to pay that.
Oh, I see now. That's where all misunderstandings come from.
A misunderstanding? What are you talking about?
For starters, I'm not a housewife. Actually, I'm an investor.
Wait, excuse me? An investor?
I'm not only investing in stocks, but also have considerable real estate assets too. And that house you guys are living in right now? I bought that house years ago, which is also in my name.
Wait a sec, am I hearing you right?
My husband's office was not far away, so when we married, we moved in here. It was just more convenient. After a few years, Rob got transferred to this area, so he moved in with us. The place is pretty big, so 3 adults wasn't a problem, and we had the cottage out back. We lived a nice, peaceful existence for years, before you arrived.
So, does that mean that the house will not be Rob's for the foreseeable future?
That's where you got your wires crossed again, Melanie. About any inheritance, we decided long ago that when my sister's child turns 30, she would inherit the house. We decided that years ago, and Rob's father was well aware of it, as Rob is. I'm surprised he didn't tell you.
Are you for real? That doesn't make sense. Even if Rob is not your real child, he is nevertheless your son. You can't deny that. He has rights too. Being your son, he has way more rights and priority than some niece or nephew.
I never officially adopted him as my son. Therefore, there is no inheritance involved. Although he may be perceived as my son. I don't want to sound crude, but he is actually a stranger.
Wait a second. So, does that mean no matter what I do, This house will never be mine?
That seems to be the case.
You can't do this! No way! I won't let you do this!
I already talked to Rob about all this. I'm bewildered by your reaction. I thought it was all resolved.
This wasn't how it was supposed to end! We were supposed to get the house. My folks were supposed to.
Am I hearing you right? Was that your intention? To somehow outright own that house? Is this what it's all about?
Yeah, so what?
I have no say in what you two are going to do going forward. That's for you and Rob to decide.
Excuse me?
I decided to move out and live at my summer home near the ocean. As for that house, I'm going to put it up for rent in the near future. Once I get the schedule figured out, I'll send you the date I will need you to move out. I would appreciate it if you get all your things packed and ready to move out by then.
How did it turn out this way? What's going on? Can you at least give us that summer home? Hello, Mom. It's been a while. How have you been?
Is that you, Melanie? What do you want? I hope it's not about extending your stay. I already have that place on the market. Besides, I thought we made it clear that we have to cut all ties.
Cut ties? Why would we do that? Can't you see me and your grandson right outside your window on your front doorstep? Come on, Mom. Open up the front door and let us in.
Pardon me? What are you talking about? Which front doorstep? Are you even at the right house? I'm looking outside the door, but I don't see anybody.
You're not fooling me one bit with that kind of play acting, Mom. I did a little checking up on you, like where you moved.
Pardon me? You checked up on me.
Remember a few months back? You were talking about moving to your summer house back east, near the ocean. Now that has to be the ritzy area near Hamilton Beach, right? I did a thorough check on that place. I checked every address around the area and finally tracked you down.
Hamilton Beach? I don't live in Hamilton Beach. Where'd you get that idea?
Huh? Oh, wait, what?
There are plenty of other areas that have wonderful beach resorts all up and down the East Coast. I never said I had a summer home in the Hamilton Beach area.
But your name's right here on the mailbox. That's how I tracked you down.
My last name is pretty common. I read somewhere that it's one of the top 10 names in the US. I bet there are dozens of people in that area with my first and last name.
You're kidding me, right? You're not pulling a fast one on me, now are you?
Now, why would I do that? I have no reason to lie to you. If you're making a scene in front of some stranger's house, I suggest you leave before they call the police. That was a close call. I talked my way out of it. I said I was lost. That guy was about to call the cops on me. So, Melanie, what's this all about? Pardon me? Why did you come all the way out east to find me? Were you just curious to see where I lived? Well, I figured, you're not getting any younger. Maybe you wanted us to live with you. I mean, with your grandson and all. Live with me? You want to move in with me? Yeah, your husband's passed, living all alone. Figured you'd want some company. I really don't need a total stranger to be concerned about my well-being. But you're living alone and... I didn't mention this before, but I plan on living with my other son. My real son and his family. You have a son? You mean... Yes, we're planning on constructing a two-family home not far from here. We'll live separately, but live on the same property. Kind of like the arrangement we had before, but more spacious. Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about Rob and his family. Family being me and your grandson. Why didn't Rob tell me? What a relief. But if that's your plan, I would appreciate it if you could maybe stay at that nice little summer home and have my folks move into this new house. Now that would be the best outcome possible. There you go again, Melanie, always coming to hasty conclusions. I said my real son. I wasn't talking about Rob. Not Rob. Wait a sec, what? I have a 28-year-old son from a previous marriage. I suppose that makes him Rob's younger stepbrother. I talked to Rob about this already. I told him I was going to live with my real son and his family. Oh, and they have a 2-year-old daughter. You already have a grandchild? Didn't I tell you this before? I thought I did. Did you? I don't recall. Oh, and didn't Rob file for divorce? Who told you? I don't live with Rob anymore, as you know, but I do keep in touch with him. Despite what you think, Rob and I are on good terms. We've always seen eye to eye. The reason he filed for divorce is mainly because of your infidelity. When did you find out about... I know a lot more than you think, Melanie. Including the fact that the child you gave birth to was not Rob's at all. Rob confided in me that he has no idea who the father is. The DNA test proves it's not his. When did you talk to him about... No use trying to deny it, Melanie. He told me everything. But there must be something. I better get going. I'm having some friends over this afternoon. Please, Mom, Judith, please. I have nowhere to live. Goodbye forever, Melanie. Please, Mom. I later learned that she came looking for my summer home in Hamilton Beach area with her parents in tow. It seems the 4 of them were left with nowhere to live. I guess they figured that if they rushed to my home in Hampton Beach, which is not where I live, somehow they would be able to move in, at least for a while. I think their intention was to somehow kick me out and take over the house. Why they thought that, I have no idea. As a result of their misguided pipe dream, they were left homeless. They were lucky they had their grandchild with them because a nearby relative took pity on them and put them up for a few nights. But word spread of their antics among the relatives, and eventually, sad to say, the child was put up for adoption. I hear they worked out some deal with a relative who owns a ranch out in Montana. They were allowed to live in a converted barn for the foreseeable future. It's apparently a pretty hard life on a farm. But evidently, they are trying to make ends meet as best they can.